hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Nothing But Net Hooked on Hoops podcast brought to you by Hoops Flicks Plus. I'm Patrick Pratt, your co host, along with my co host and backup point guard, Dinos Trigonis. What's up, D?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Good.
Trying to recover from a bad back.
Oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And our guest today is from Burleson on basketball, Frank Burleson. He's going to review the Pangos All Frost Soft Camp East Coast style that happened a couple of weeks ago. How you doing, Frank?
Good, Patrick. How you doing, Dinos?
We're doing good, man. Doing good. Plugging away here. Last of four recaps here. We had a hell of a fall. The usual good run of new faces. Seen some old faces that were improved. New names, new high schools, new prospects. It was a beneficial four-stop run there. Well, we're discussing the All East camp that Frank, among other people, were at. And again, the East camp always never fails to impress. We have this from size to talent to athleticism to new faces, new surprises. And we got a big dose of that this year, Pat. Obviously, we had about 18 different states represented, including Canada. We had as Frank will probably allude to in a few seconds, a nice, strong contingent of Canadian players. We had a few in Chicago as well, and some really good young prospects that have a lot of upside and potential.
Yeah, I think, Dinos, the thing that stood out even in multiple years is the overall quality of size. I think if I remember correctly, here's the roster. I got the all-star rosters, but I think there was something like 30 guys, 6'8" or taller. And if you look at the top 30 all-star game, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the 30 or so players selected to the top 30 All-Star game were 6'7" or taller. So that's a good barometer and again, not only were they just not a bunch of tall guys, there was all guys with, skill and Logan Chaswick and Elton Brand's son, Peace Brand, and it was just Emmanuel Udorago, the 6'10", eighth grader, just a tremendous, remind me a lot of like a DeAndre Ayton type one. Remember when you had him at one of the very first Pangos junior All-American camps. Again, just a high quality, and again, a lot of good guards. And I mean, when's the last time you had that many good eighth graders, Dino? So, I mean, there was 4 or 5 high-level eighth graders, including a couple. J.J. Smith from New York at 6'2", he made the top All-Star game, and then as we mentioned, Emmanuel Udorago.
Actually, we had three eighth graders in the game. Jordan Allman, who couldn't stay for the All-Star game.
Yeah, the very good, the New York kid who
he was a hell of a player too.
Yeah, he hit 7 threes in his 2 games on Saturday. Just a terrific. And again, who knows how guys are going to develop or progress or whatnot, but that's indicative of.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Frank. This camp and in the All South camp in Duncanville, there was 2 phenomenal eighth graders there too, and the DJ Parker and the 6'3" guard with the unique name. Fresh by memory.
Well, and also we had one of the maybe one of the dunks that we'll see, the best dunks we'll see all season. By who was the kid who had the dunk?
It was in the second All-Star game, but the kid from Delaware.
What you talking about, Baby?
From We Are One.
Baby?
No, Baby was a sophomore. It was the other kid from with the very unique Avon Diamond. We had the best dunk of the camp. Might have been in the second All-Star game, Pat. That's how good it was. Pennington School.
Over the top of the kid from the 6'5" kid from North Carolina who's so good. Yeah, that was, he put it in left-handed. He's not even left-handed. Nice. It's one of those, if if it had happened in a, in an ESPN or something like that, we'd still be watching that thing replay.
Well, as you alluded to, a lot of these guys were tall, and they're only like freshmen and sophomores, so chances are they're gonna grow a couple of more inches, huh?
Well, I think not so much. Well, Logan. I mean, he had grown what 3 inches. Logan Chastwick.
6'11". Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he was about 6'7", 6'8" when he went to the Pangos Middle School All-American Camp in the spring of
That's where you saw him at the middle school.
2024. And then he was at the camp last year as a.
Yeah, last year he got hurt early. He never really made much of a mark last year. And it was very nice to see him not only come to the camp this year with something to prove, but he played consistently hard. He showed his ability to finish. He showed his agility. Reminded me a little bit of Chris Burgess in his high school.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go full blown here on the racial scouting comparisons here, but also a little bit like Christian Leitner and Cooper Flagg too.
Yeah,
dunking and shooting threes and. Well, how about this guy Michael Postel? Is he related to LeVar Postel?
You know what? That's a good question. I thought about very, very slender, but good skills, good shooter. He's going to be good.
Yeah, and also, too, there was two kids that were the co-MVPs of the overall camp with Logan. Braxton Bogart.
A very good player.
Extremely good player. It basically give you a kind of an insight, Pat. Just picture Brandon Martinson before his injury with a more consistent three-point shot. That's Braxton Bogart. Yeah. I mean, he's athletic, he's active, he can shoot the three, his IQ's off the chart, he's a multiple position player, he's got good grades. There's nothing not to like about Braxton Bogart, and he definitely punched his Pangos camp ticket. He came this year with something to prove, and he made his point. And then also, we talked about briefly Elton Brand. To be quite honest and be a little bit embarrassed by it, Pat, I didn't even know that Elton Brand had a son.
Who, Peace?
Peace Brand, prior to the camp. 2 days prior to the camp, I'm talking to the high school coach, and he says, I got two guys coming. Peace Brand. I said, Brand, that's Elton's son. I never even knew he had a son.
No, I didn't.
We had a chance to talk, me and Frank had a chance to talk to Elton on Sunday, and he explained that the kid kind of gave up basketball temporarily. In ages 7 through 12, he was into music, decided to jump into basketball again.
Recently, yeah.
He's active. He didn't have a great all-star game, but he had multiple 20-point games. He was productive. He was agile. He was athletic at the rim. He was making shots. And he said there's a lot to like and a lot to work with Peace Brand and attitude. First-class attitude.
Shoot, he's 6'8". He better get out there and play.
A student too, so
4.0 student.
You're looking at a potential Ivy League kid. I tell you what, there was a lot of good. I thought over the last day or so, the kid who really was tremendous in the Sunday morning and then the All-Star game was Jamez Reeves from Connecticut, Washington. Frederick Gunn Prep. I thought he was just another terrific kid who was just.
Yeah, he plays for City Rocks, our guy Jim Hart there. And the other kid who was co-MVP of the 30 game, Nolan Proudfoot, who's a tough, hard-nosed shot maker, playmaker.
Probably the best dump shooter in the camp.
And again, not to go back to racial stereotypes, Frank, but reminds me a lot of a tough Dalton Connect.
He reminded me. Yeah, he reminded me of Steve Alford.
Yeah, because Connect is tall, ain't
he? Yeah, not to mention any racial stereotypes here.
Or Peyton Pritchard. Let's go full board here. Peyton
I think he might be a little bit bigger, a little tougher than Peyton Pritchard. Maybe not quite the jump shooter yet, but he was defending that one play in the All-Star game, Frank, where he covered some ground like Mookie Blaylock from the half court to the opposite corner. He looked like Nolan Cromwell back there.
Are y'all going to compare him to Kevin Pritchard next?
Kevin Pritchard, Kansas, right?
Uh-huh. Okay. What other names? I see a
and Dylan Powell, we certainly Philadelphia cranks out a lot of elite guards. I thought Dylan Powell from Archbishop Wood was very, very good. So
there's other guard, Archbishop Wood, too. They're the kid Kyron Strong was a hell of a guard, a hell of a Philly-type flavored guard. Hard-nosed, grimy, defense, got after it, pushed in transition, crafty off the bounce.
Great, I like that.
And then also the guy who was just out of the MVP discussion that was right there was Billy Stanfield out of Calvert Hall, Baltimore, Maryland. 6'6".
Very, very good. Dwayne Farrell's high school.
He kind of looks like Marmot Williams from modern day in the 80s, but he was a hell of a producer all week, and he was scoring big wing. He was a guy who was at the camp last year, and it was nice to see his level of improvement. And we also Kaminga's brother.
Yeah, I see Flory.
Flory Kaminga, he had a 30-point game Sunday morning in the camp game. He's got a lot of potential, and as his consistency improves, he's going to be a problem. And we also had maybe the best athlete in the camp, Frank KJ Dunkley Hamilton, 6'6", life center.
He was a little Corey Benjamin-ish,
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Corey Benjamin type swing man out of Life Center Academy, which is known to produce players in the Philadelphia metro area. And the gang of Catholic, a gang of Canadian Catholics, gang of Canadians. How about as a prospect, Frank?
I think I counted
Tristan Edwards, 6'8" freshman.
Yeah. I think I counted about 12 to 13 guys from
it's a good thing.
Canada.
It's a good thing Rick Isaacs wasn't at the camp, because he would have been screaming, "That's what they look like." If you saw Tristan Edwards play.
That's what that looks like.
That's what they look like.
Well, going back to KJ Dunkley Hamilton, you compared him to Corey Benjamin, Cole Benjis. He had hops with a name like Dunkley. I guess it was Cole Benji.
I wondered if he was it Julian Dunkley at Temple or
Temple and Maine. That's his relative. I think it's his nephew. I think.
Okay.
Nephew or cousin. I think it's his nephew. And again, we had some guys that weren't all put together yet, but had tremendous size. The Isaac Bankadika, Toussaint Malukila, he was there last year, 7-footer. And then we had the workhorse, Aswan Matthews, going to school in Florida from Delaware, a 6'7" Draymond Green. Actually, I think we moved him up from the top 60 games this year. At all the camps, we experimented with something that we're definitely going to keep because it worked out well. We left open 1 or 2 spots for the MVP.
Or the best players in the top
60. 60. So give somebody, in case we missed somebody on their good game, or somebody that may have not played well earlier, or whatever the case may be, a chance to prove us wrong.
Right.
On the court. Mano a mano. Right in front of us. Eyeballs. Center court.
I thought both games were very, very competitive, and especially the top 60 games. You saw guys who were dialed in and doing it, because I think Dinos or whoever spoke would always make a point of emphasis that it's about more than just who gets up the most shots, who scores the most points,
right,
who makes the effort to play a complete game and do more than just do things to help those teams win, not just stack up a bunch of points.
Yeah, three other guys that I want to talk about that I thought we haven't even got to yet, that I think have high major future, is our guy Marquis Johnson, 6'5", Lawrenceville. Strong wing.
Left-handed kid, super strong. And,
also Mojica.
I like
Damien Mojica, 6'7", master school, Yonkers, New York. Not to compare him to Carmelo Anthony, but he had that kind of game, to a strong, wide body forward, skilled, could really score. And our guy from Florida, the guy Carter Florian, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Relentless athlete, played hard.
This was a deep camp. The other guys were missing. The Reeves kid we talked about, Demir Salisbury, another Keystone State kid with a bright future. Xavier Griffith from Canada, he was really good.
Kyle Dells was very good.
Hosea LeBlanc,
from
Quebec. What a great name from Quebec, LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc.
Well, from the top 60 game, how about Patrick Crotty? He related to John Crotty.
I knew you were going to ask that.
There's not too many Crotties.
I investigated it. I hate it. I regret to tell you, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Now, but also, let's go back to the guy Frank alluded to briefly, but we have to talk about him. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but this guy's got superstar written all over him. Frank spotted it the first minute of camp. Big Emmanuel Udraogo, Wilson Academy. That's a school you're going to be hearing a lot from, Pat. Wilson Academy, Atlanta, Georgia. Not to be confused with Wilson, Long Beach. This team is loaded. We talked about Tristan Edwards, their collection of young talent.
Yeah,
I've actually invited them to the Lute Olson game. Frank, they'll be back in Long Beach in January, and they're thinking about coming to Tarkanian too. So we're going to get our big dose. We're going to get more than our dose of Emmanuel in the next month or two.
Yeah, I think you look at Isaac Toussaint. Wasn't he at the Pangos camp in June? Malakila?
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought did a very, very good job.
How about Eli Farmer from Braxton Bogarts High School, Archbishop Spalding? They have several good young kids.
That's a heck of a pair of. Braxton Bogart was so impressive in terms of hitting threes and running and dunking that Farmer was just kind of a blue collar guy who just kept competing and battling. And by the end of Sunday afternoon, you thought, God, he's really, really. Really, really good. I think the Saturday afternoon game, Emmanuel Odorago, I'm probably butchering that guy's name, but he had a game against
Bogart.
Bogart, just great. When Bogart was very good to handle it, he got in a stance and ripped him at midcourt and stole it and raced to the other end for a dunk. Yeah, just really, really tremendous.
Hey, Frank, let's talk about Brazier Nelson, good-looking freshman guard. St. Raymond has a history there from the Gary DeCesar days.
Yeah,
St. Raymond, Bronx, New York, 6'2" freshman. I'll be curious to see a year from now what level of improvement will that kid have. Only a freshman.
Well, you know what? His name's Brazier, but they call it, hey, brah, what's up, brah? I know, Patrick. It took you a while, buddy.
Hey,
there were two other kids we haven't talked about. They were not able to play in the top 30, Frank. I want you to shed some light on. Jacob Toomer, another guy from the Master School. We had three kids in there.
Very, very, very good shooter.
Freshman guard. And Chidozie Nwigi, who's Chidi Nwigi's younger brother.
Yeah.
Who did Chidi commit to, Frank?
Chidi Bang Bang.
Today?
Oh yeah, I think is he committed or is he off the board or still on the board?
I'm not sure.
Good player.
I'm still worried about my website. I'm very depressed right now. All these people who are having disappointing Thursdays trying to open to see if I've pounded out some powerful pros on my website, and they can't open it.
I'm sure Curdy will get it up and running momentarily.
He's looking into it. He just texts me back.
But Frank, compared to the last year, how would you feel the overall talent was? Or the last time you were there, the overall talent or the history of this camp? We've had a lot.
It was good. I mean, and I was at the Delaware camp last year too. I just think that in terms of the depth of the big guys, so many, and the fact that so many of them were not only traditional shot blockers, big guys, but like Logan Chaswick and our guy Braxton Bogart, not only are big and athletic, but a lot of perimeter skills. And then then again, I get our guy Emmanuel. Just seems to me like, he played with such energy and shot blocker, and he wasn't like big and passive, and he was very, high energy the whole game. And then, when you talk about the fact that, J.J. Smith, Jordan Allman, Emmanuel, as we talked about, there was a couple other guys. I don't know if we made them, if you put them in the top 60 game, but there's
other guys that didn't make the top game, either game. They were good, hell of players too. Now, speaking of the all name team, we've had a lot of fun the last couple of weeks, Pat.
But I could see, J.J. Smith, just a great feel for the game, for a guy that young. And then, the shooter, Allman, and then the big guy. So I could see all three of those guys based on what they do this season or when you see them again, Dinos. I
Yeah.
could see all three of them being the caliber that they could not only go to Pangos with all the 27s and 28s,
Yeah.
but not only go there, but flourish.
But Frank, we have 3 strong nominees for the all-name team this year. The all circuit Frost.
Brazier Nelson.
No, we got not yet.
What about
Truth Kelly? Truth. Think if you could play, what kind of name?
the
it is.
truth?
That's the truth. That's Truth Kelly.
What about Harlem McNeil?
No, not they're not the honorable mention. Oh, how about where did it go? What about Johnny Pachik? Chick like Chick-fil-A.
Pachik.
Pachikjian.
I
Is
see
that
that.
it might be a Southern Armenian there.
And he's
Might be
from-
a Southern Armenian. And yet, better yet, this name I love, causing confusion at the DMV line. Or Department of Motor Vehicles, not DMV, DC, Maryland. Ayul. Can you imagine that at the DMV line? What's your first name? Ayul. Sir, what's your last name? Ayul. I said, first name, Ayul. Last name, Ayul? What is it? First, last?
I thought
Ayul. If he ends up being a hell of a player, you say his name twice, Pat.
I heard that.
Ayul.
IU from Boston. I thought you were going to say Nolan with the unique spelling of his first name, Proudfoot.
Well, he's in the first game.
How about
Oh.
Brandon Bird?
He was
is-
a co-MVP of the top 60 game.
Yeah,
Bird.
Cardinal Hayes,
Bird is the word.
big strong wing.
and Samaj Stone. Doesn't that just sound like a guy who should be an athlete? Samaj.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and Peace Brand. And
Aiden
Evan-
Aqua.
Hey
Was he
Pat,
turned off
we
for the
actually
plays
had
at
to ask.
Roland?
We had to ask Elton if he named Peace.
After Meta
yeah.
World Peace.
And he said no, it didn't cross his mind.
They
His
said the
wife-
mom.
The mom did it.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, he said that the mother named him, came up with the name Prince.
No,
Peace.
Peace.
It could have been
Peace.
Prince.
Yeah.
I heard
Yep.
you. I heard you
Can.
say Aqua.
Yeah.
Frank. I was thinking of
Frank-
Milan Aqua. It's close.
Yeah, and that was he was related to Milan Aqua, who started out at Chino Hills for a while.
He was in LaSalle, Pasadena,
Yeah, and
with
then
Jelani Gardner.
and Tracy Aqua, right, was the one who
Yeah.
played at Roland back in the 90s or
Or was it
whatever.
Nogales?
Yeah.
But you know what the one refreshing thing, Pat, about Elton Brand?
What's that?
And, obviously I coached at the Nike camp when he played there. We discussed that with them. Had a good laugh. Frank obviously saw him at the old Riverside Church teams that came to Slam and Jam. He saw him at the camps.
Long Beach
He
State
saw
Gold,
him
Gold
at
Mine.
the Long Beach State Gold Mine, etc. And but after all this success, Elton has a very good parental demeanor. A lot of parents
Yeah.
can learn a lot from Elton. It didn't seem like he had a lot of pressure on the kid to be him. He
No.
was there supporting him. And as he indicated, when the kid decided he wasn't into it for a while, he gave him his space
Mm-hmm.
and allowed him to discover organically the love for the game
Right.
instead of
Yeah.
forcing it on him. And that's why I think ultimately that phase of his life where he did something different and realized he wanted to do it on his own, and now combining his love for basketball, for music, and for other interests, you're talking about not just a good player, but an all-around, overall good person.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
key. Instead of being like Todd Marinovich's dad or something. Remember how he
The
pressed?
bionic man.
Well, I mean, there's a thing too, and again, you like it when a parent, not just a dad, but any parent who's a who was or is a high profile athlete or celebrity, by the mere fact that sometimes they're in the gym, they kind of steal the thunder and cause attention to go them. But like Eldon Brand, you just low keyed and just sat there and just kind of watched the game. Wasn't overtly standing and yelling, or
I didn't even know he was there till after the game was over, Pat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, son. Take him. He wasn't doing all that, huh?
we've seen a few parents like that.
Right. Now, you guys, this is our third review of the camps that you've had.
Fourth.
Okay, we had the one in Dallas, and you said that was big man oriented. The one in Chicago
Long Beach too.
was more of that's true. I guess I meant abroad. In Chicago was more guard oriented. Sound like you guys are saying that this one had a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and perhaps just the fact that again, when you think about a kid who's 13, 14 or whatever, and that they the Smith kid and stuff, just the fact that they competed, not only competed and he's pretty good, I'll watch him, but we're certainly by any accounts, Smith was one of the two or three best traditional point guards at the camp, with in reality 5 more years to go before he's even in college.
Okay. It's something you bring up. The true point guard. I've been hearing stories about how some people feel like the scoring guard that can just shoot and not do anything else might become extinct, and the instant offense guy might become extinct. Even though they said sometimes when the second unit sits down, you do need that guy to come off and keep your offense going. What do you think about those notions about certain positions not being as valuable or considered as valuable as they used to be?
Well, I think certainly with the nature of the game, when you look like at the NBA with a 24-second shot clock and all the parameters of how they play versus college and high school, I think that there's actually more room for specialists in the NBA probably than in years past, because so few guys like you think back to Kyle Korver or some of these guys who were
Mike
in
Miller.
Capono.
guys who were in the league, and they were basically, no one would say that, oh, he's a great all around player, but he does something so particular. But by the way, we're changing the topic here, but we're talking about big guy. Is Jokic the best offensive big man since Hakeem? And he does stuff that Hakeem can never do in terms of, what was he last night? 6 or 7 on threes?
Something like that with them 55 points he had. He had 55 on the Clippers last night.
He had 50 with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, he killed them. Felt bad for Zubac and them. Yeah, to answer your question, hey, you got to give him his credit. I don't think there is nobody since the dream that can do the things he does offensively. And he's slow, doesn't look too assuming, but he's getting it done.
He's in reality, he's to the point where, like LeBron for a stretch there, or Magic or Bird, it's like, out of boredom is why they don't just name him MVP every year, because certainly what he can do. I mean, again, this is changing the topic, but I got to think right now the 5 best players in the world / NBA are non-U.S. players, right? Let's see if you guys pick the same ones I think of.
Who, Giannis?
Yeah. Well, it's amazing, Frank, how Jokic lost in the Eurobasket.
Yeah.
Prior to the semifinals. But on another topic, Frank, that needs to be brought up, we're dealing with the transfer epidemic here in high school.
Don't even get me started.
Don't get him started.
It's to the point where, as you guys know, in past years, I had my preseason Southern California top 40 teams out 2 weeks ago. Every time I sit down, I go, okay, let's do 30 through 40. I was about to put it, okay, let me post it. And then somebody transfers or somebody leaves or somebody's ineligible. It's like, I was doing it again today. And again, I won't say who, but there was a couple more high profile players who.
No, even Eric Sondheimer reported today that the 2 kids at Crossroads just now got their paperwork in, and it's November 10th. I mean, the other day I was talking about this to somebody.
It has nothing to do with that. I think one of them, I think Shaylin Shepard's family's not moving, and Evan Willis is. That's what I heard.
No, but there was another school that to be nameless that have several high-profile transfers,
Sierra Canyon.
and they don't even have the paperwork for those. There's no evidence they've even submitted paperwork yet.
Yeah,
And then we get their source, their neighborhood source, telling us, "Oh, their secretaries dotting the i's and crossing the t's," and what does that mean, man? Why couldn't you cross the i's and dot the t's back in September, man?
because they weren't sure where they were going to go to school back in September, buddy.
Hey, I hear there's some G League
No,
guys.
as funny as that is, Frank, what can be done here? Obviously, the CIF has the 30-day rule, and from a fairness standpoint, that is a fair, good rule. Could there be something that needs to be done as far as have a deadline, having your paperwork in to be eligible that
You
year?
know, I because again, then it's on the school administration, and you're talking about more than just basketball players, because the girls, by all accounts, girls basketball is transferring every bit as much as the boys
No,
are.
I know that, but couldn't it be something that within X number of days when you enroll at that school and you want to play scholastic sports, you have 2 weeks to get your paperwork in from the date you enroll. How about something like that? Because this is nonsense. This is buffoonery.
Look at it.
This is what Frank Burleson language would be a cluster F.
Or as I would say, God bless them.
If they keep this up, Frank is going to be tempted to do something that he's been doing unofficially for years. Have an all turd team in public.
Don't give them no ideas. Speaking of how crazy stuff is, I heard some G League guys who played 3 years are going back to college.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't know if it's the NCAA, because of the litigation in the years past, they became timid and they say, well, we don't want to be challenged on it, or the other thing. How about the fact where they were very close to allowing college athletes to bet on professional sports?
Hey, Frank, I got to say something here. I got to say something for the record here.
Yeah.
I know the rules are the rules, but as a coach, you have discretion. Okay? The guy at BYU, I don't know him. He seems like a great coach. Comes
What
to the
happened?
NBA. I'm going to get to the second. He takes the G League guy. You got AJ DeBonsa. You got Rob Wright, one of the top guards. You got a more diverse team that BYU has ever had in 20 years combined. What more do you need, man? What more do you need that you feel it's morally okay to go to the G League for another player? At what point is just the integrity of the rules of pass? Am I right or wrong here?
Hey, I agree.
Everybody wants to win. But do you want to win that bad? You want to go into the G League? You have potentially the number one pick in the draft. You have one of the top handful of point guards in the country who's an NBA player. You have a 7-foot shot blocker who you paid $1 million for, and you're not even using them. Okay? Then you got all these other guys that are good players. I saw them beat a good Villanova team. What prompts you to say, shit, I got to go to the G League? I don't have enough. You got the most loaded BYU team in history, talent-wise, and it's not enough? At what point? I don't mean to pick on him. Again, I don't know the guy. He's a good coach, obviously, right? And with all that Mormon resources, he's a hell of a recruiter, too. We'll put that past him.
The thing is,
but come on, man, you got to have some integrity. You got to say no. Just because I could do it, Pat,
doesn't mean
you should do it. That's my point.
Go ahead, Frank.
Well, I would say it's the NCAA allowing it, but again, if you're going and you're playing professionally, and again, now everything's professional, but at what point, they didn't want to go the traditional route. They thought didn't want to play college because they thought they were pros. Well, you can't double back now and say, I don't know. I can't make any sense out of it, but it's.
Well, what's obvious here, Pat, there's a void of leadership. There's a void of people speaking out that have the influence and power and authority to make things right. Okay, we have a screwed up situation. You wouldn't expect people without authority, without influence, to be the instigators of the solution. You'd expect the people that have the power, the authority, the influence, for them to be out front. Where are they? Where's USA Basketball? Where's the people on this oversight committee? Where's the NCAA? Where's all these other the college coaches? Some of them who have made it, they think they can just turn their back on everything else and not have things fair anymore. It's not right, man. I don't like to whine about it, but I have no other choice but to lay down the hammer. Lay down the hammer. I know we got a hammer. I know we got a hammer. We got a man. I know we have a hammer somewhere on that keyboard right there. There's got to be. No you got to put the hammer down. Hey, we got to tell our boss we need a new key. We need the hammer key.
Look at Frank.
Got this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
It's
I'm sorry for the rant.
Hey, some of these guys, their high school career, or maybe their senior year, doesn't really matter where they go. They already like being recruited. Like Brandon McCoy Jr. Doesn't matter where he goes. Tyron Stokes, has he surfaced anywhere yet?
Well, he's no longer in Notre Dame.
Right. So does it matter if he play where he plays? He's still going to be recruited.
Well,
yeah, and recruited, and again, it's still a bottom line scenario when coaches want to win games, and if they think a player can help them win games, they're going to recruit them as long as they can, cut a deal with them or with whatever parameter or framework of what exists as quote unquote rules on the college level now.
So. Another note on this pay for player scheme we have now. Okay, Pat and Frank.
Uh-huh.
I've heard of some of these other schools that say, "Oh, we got money this year. We're paying. We found money." The school came up with money. And I look at their rosters, and to me, they look no different from the years they had no money. So who are they paying, man? Who are you paying? What are you paying for? Come on, man. You're better off not paying. Just taking your lumps, man.
Well, not only that, but if you're these schools that these athletic programs that are making, millions and millions and millions off of football contract, and let's get that straight, with very few exceptions, the bulk of the income that runs high-level college sports comes from football, unless you're a, Kentucky or, BYU or some of these programs that draw 16, 17,000 people to a basketball game. But how can, 80% of the other programs, 351, 360 or whatever D1 programs in basketball, well, there's only 60, 70 programs of those that have the college kind of football programs that have the kind of media rights that the Big Ten or the SEC or the Big 12 get, that can come up with the kind of income that you can use to lure, the players to those schools. How about the programs that, in years past has gotten scholarship funds based on student fees? If you're at a state college of California or any other state college, how many times can you go that well and tell some students, or especially if they're married and trying to raise families?
I've heard that they're trying to tax the students to pay for these guys to play. But Frank, going back to my point here, I'm looking at these rosters, and it would cross my mind that any realistic coach is going to say, whether I pay for these players, whatever I have is not enough to get over the hump. Okay, If I don't pay, I'm going to lose and get fired. I have enough money to get the guys to win, so I'm paying guys that are not going to help me win. What crossed my mind was, I might as well, if I was the coach, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a controversy where they pocket the money.
I was just thinking that when you said that.
It could get fired anyway. Just pocket the money and then could have a
Don't
kind
give
of
them no ideas, like I keep saying.
Hey, Patrick, if you got your phone up or Dino's, do yourself a favor and go to burlesonbasketball.com, buddy, because
It's
our
back.
guy James Curdy just got me back up.
All right.
Back in business.
All right. Hey Frank,
All right.
did you see our guy, Pangos All-American Camp alum, Pangos Camp alum, Pangos
Oh.
Festival alum, Colin Chandler take off last week? For
How
Kentucky?
about that? Let's talk
Shades
about
of
it.
Rex
Oh,
Chapman.
Yeah, he got more hops than Rex Chapman.
Oh,
That's a good question. Who's got more hops? Rex Chapman or Colin Chandler?
Colin Chandler right now. I don't know how much vertical
We're not talking about him. Rex Chapman at
has
55.
at age
Maybe
55.
we should call Rex Chapman right now. if he's willing to relinquish the Kentucky Wildcat white boy crown.
Did you?
Well, I think Dino's pointed it out when you reposted it, but I think people really forget, with the Utah prospects, with the Pangos, all the Pangos events, people forget, and the Utah prospects when they were Under Armour, Adidas, whatever he played, forget how good this guy was. George, all those guys at the camp, remember, and he was an elite. He was one of the elite players there.
All I remember was Pat over and over again saying, "I want some jelly with those rolls."
Hey man, that food.
You hadn't seen a white boy have a roll like that in a long time.
Ooh-wee.
Well, he's
Since
had
the
what,
70,
eight- and
88
he's had 8 threes. And hey, I want to know is where did this guard from Stanford come from? This freshman guard
From
Oh,
China? From
No.
Canada?
Is he from Canada? He's had what
Well,
30?
we got an Asian guy at Oregon. He's supposed to be
Yeah.
good. The guy from Stanford's good. We got the Division II guy from Cal State Dominguez who went to Gardena Serra that nobody cared about.
You mean Jeremy Dent Smith?
He's at
He
Stanford.
played in the
Yeah,
rear run. He
playing.
played in the rear run the last few
Yeah,
years.
he's like a 4.2 student in high school.
Yeah, even
My guy,
Yeah, so
Jeremy
anyway.
Dent Smith.
Pat, we're coming to the end of the road here. We started off with the All East recap, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of had a chance to vent some steam
Right.
as well. And we got a few good laughs and new material for your new BET comedy hour.
Right here on episode 13. It's great to have you on once again, Frank Burleson. Always a pleasure.
Great to see you guys.
And we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Hooks on Hoops podcast, Nothing But Net, brought to you by Hoops Flicks Plus.
Episode 13.
Episode 13.
But it's not Friday the 13th.
Nah, it's not tomorrow. All right, basketball fans, we appreciate you checking out the show. Continue to watch us. We got some more coming up. Got a great 25-26 season on all levels of basketball, so we'll be right here to review it for you. I'm Patrick Pratt. This is Dino Strigonis. And once again, signing off, this is the Nothing But Net podcast, Hooked on Hoops.